Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is number 5 of 30. Thank you, Hollywood, for making pilots look like renegades and gung-ho. It's got to be more than 20 years now. I had my CV, resume checked out professionally, and the guy, who was a lovely guy, who was rewriting my CV, wanted to remove all references to aviation and pilotry. Yeah. And I said, why? He said, and I never thought about it. He said, the business world doesn't appreciate it. They'll see you as high risk. High risk? Are you joking? He said, no, not at all. Not at all. And sure enough, I removed everything that was associated to aviation and flying aeroplanes and all that kind of thing, and focused, any qualifications and things like that. Took all the qualifications out, and no problems getting a job and all that kind of thing. And then I thought nothing of it and left all my skills in that sort of domain in aviation out of my CV. And then ended up living in another country. It doesn't matter which country, and ended up working in another country, where my boss came out, and I was riding a motorbike in a car park, literally at walking pace, without a helmet on, just to move the bike from point A to point B. And the boss didn't like me. He didn't like me. I didn't like him. I thought he was stupid. He thought I was stupid. Maybe I am stupid. Maybe he is stupid. Maybe we're both not stupid. Regardless. Anyway, after we were returned back to the country that we lived in, he sent a massive email out to everybody, because there were it wasn't just me and him that was there. Sent a massive email out saying that we're all being acting stupid and risky and things like that, and I knew exactly was pointing at me. So I referred back to him, and I referred back to him because he mentioned something about aviation, and you should know better, and all this kind of crap. And I wrote a massive email back to everybody, because he sent it to everybody, and it was obviously pointed at me. And I responded back, and I said that aviation is the only industry where safety is everything, and that we're not renegades and we're not gung-ho and things like that. And I ended up sending this email out. Things got worse and worse, and he ended up leaving the business, and then ultimately I ended up leaving the business a few months later. Excuse me. Hollywood gives the impression in the films that they produce that aviation and pilots and things like that are gung-ho. This is absolutely incorrect. However, I also understand perception is reality. So if everybody sees, or a lot of people see pilots as gung-ho and wild and carefree and snorting coke and things like that, and getting drunk while flying and things like that, then that becomes a perception. That does become a perception, but it's absolutely not the truth. It is absolutely not the truth. And as I used to argue, and I said, when was the last time? Every time that we walk up to an aircraft, do you do a pre-flight check? When was the last time you did a pre-flight check on either your car, or your motorbike. With an aircraft, you do it every time before you start the engines or engine. You do it every time. You go around the aircraft and check it out and make sure it's fit for purpose. People don't do that with the cars. That said, I also understand from a manufacturing perspective, cars are designed to not require a pre-flight check, but it does put it into some kind of context. And it was, and thanks to Hollywood, this perception of pilots being gung-ho and things like that, it stops me putting what are, in effect, what I call valued qualifications onto my CV, where people in business don't recognise it. Gone are the days where, a private pilot's licence was the equivalent of a degree, a commercial pilot's licence was the equivalent of a master's, and an ATPL was the equivalent of a doctorate. Those days appear to have be gone. Or, I'm currently in a conversation on another group on another social network about this, and and they're saying it's absolutely true. Gone are the days where pilots used to be respected as the pinnacle of intelligence and integrity and following standard operating procedures, but also being able to think and decide quickly. The art of flying an aircraft is, can you make decisions quickly? Can you make decisions quickly that are correct? Can you calculate complex mathematics in your head and then verify it quickly using the technology, be it a slide rule or the technology in the aircraft? Can you calculate it in your head and then confirm that calculation on the technology that's in the aircraft? Those skills are gone. Can you speak multiple languages? Can you understand multiple accents when speaking English? Because English is the language of the radio and the communications for air traffic control across the globe. That's not my fault, it's English, but it is. And for those that are not first language English speakers, 10 out of 10 to you that you can converse as a second language in English whilst operating an aircraft. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. But the point is, I don't think that today in the business world where everybody comes out with a business degree and I see it all day. I see it every day. They come out with a business degree into our business and they make constant mistakes. If a business degree or another degree that you've come out of a university with and you're all making all these mistakes, if it was equivalent to flying aircraft, then all aircraft would be grounded because there would be so many accidents, and there are not. And that's because safety and clear understanding of how to operate an aircraft are the absolute paramount of aviation. And it's such a sad thing that the skills and the certification for pilots and that may well no longer be valued in the business world. And that could be down, and probably is down, to too many gung-ho pilotry films from Hollywood, such as, I don't know, whatever films, very exciting films, but not realistic. Yeah. Sully was a good film. Was it Sully? Other films like, I don't know, what is it? Oh God, what's that one with Denzel Washington? They're all unrealistic. Admittedly, in the 80s and 90s, people were snorting coke and things like that, and drinking vodka while flying, but it's not like that anymore, I am assuming. There we are, I've got that one off my chest. It's thought-provoking. What are your thoughts? Has Hollywood diluted the values associated to the certification in aviation? Not sure. You tell me your thoughts. There is number 5 of 30. I think it's number 5. Have a great day. And be kind to everyone. And leave your comments below on what your thoughts are. If you find this interesting, or you think someone else might find it interesting, share it out and let's spread the love. See you soon. Bye-bye.